Greetings, folks. Welcome to the Green Art Channel. My name is Josh, and this week we are going to be talking about 3 types of very powerful but extremely simple energy work we can do with the support of our tree allies. And I am sitting here on the patio of our acupuncture and herbal apothecary. This is a tree that's probably the closest tree to where I work, and I did this class here to show you how simple this can be, that you don't have to travel far from your house. You can be in a park or a front yard or a backyard and really have access to this. So first I want to start out with just a very brief exploration of this concept of energy work. And I mean it quite literally, that when we do energy work, no matter if it's with the support of our plant spirit allies or some other way, we are working on the energetics of the body, the subtle flow of vital force, the way that energy in all of its many forms and manifestations flows through the body. And ideally, that happens with effortlessness and ease, right? We find that when energy starts to stagnate or become constricted or even become excessive in certain parts of the bodies, that this can lead to a disease state. It can trickle down into the more dense tissue-based aspects of our being and cause all kinds of problems. So this sense of energetic wellness is very, very important, and it's really probably one of the best formats of preventative care that we have. And the plants are exemplary at helping us do this. And so today I'm going to show you 3 different techniques for doing energy work with the support of any tree, ideally a tree that you have some kind of kinship with, that you enjoy sitting with, that you feel welcome in their presence. And the 3 things that we're going to talk about first is a clearing technique, right? To just kind of clear, reset, settle, take the buzz out of your energy. Sometimes we feel like we've gotten a little bit wound up, a little knotted up. We just want to kind of comb through the way that energy, vital force, or even the concept of love, right, flows through our body. That's the first one. The second one is going to be about centering in the self, just dropping into your own sovereignty, your own sacred space within. And the third is going to be a gathering energy work, which borders on more sorceress work, where we're actually calling something in to our body on the energetic level with the support of our tree allies. So that's what we're going to talk about here in just a second. Let me remind you something that we've talked about in various other classes before, and I think this is so interesting, that humans have an energetic field, right? We are electrical animals, and our hearts are really the strongest electromagnetic field output in our system. In fact, 5,000 times larger than that of the brain, right? And this field extends around us. Some people would call it an energy field, or maybe an aura, or the hama. And this is a way that we energetically dovetail or link with the world around us. Similarly, plants have an energy field. So even when we're just sitting in close proximity to a plant, like I am with this tree here, our energy fields, which extend beyond our physical reach, are actually intermingling and touching. And there is a very specific shape that many of us experience when we are sitting specifically with trees, and that is the shape of the Taurus. And this Taurus energy shows us how trees reach up into the sky with their canopy, they reach down into the world below with their root system, and they circulate and gather this energy in this Taurus shape. And so we like to lean into that natural flow of energy in our tree allies when we do this kind of energy work. So we'll be coming back to this concept of this Taurus energy, trees gathering up from below, collecting and gathering down from above, and centering in the middle, as we talk about these 3 very simple but very powerful techniques of energy healing with trees. So let's get into it. So to begin, I like to stand as close to the tree as possible. And actually, if you can align your spinal column to the trunk of the tree, that is fantastic. In this case, it would be a little difficult for me because I'm very tall and this tree has some lower foliage. So I'm going to get as close as I can. And with all of these practices, and this really honestly could just be its own practice, maybe a little 4th bonus practice, I like to just spend a moment feeling how it feels to be in the presence of this tree, how it feels to have them standing behind me, growing behind me, how it feels to have their canopy reaching over the top of me, protecting me, covering me, and also being aware of how it feels to have their root system underneath me, kind of holding and cradling me, right? When I am standing next to a tree like this, I am being held inside the torus shape of their energy. So I am literally standing inside the energy field of this tree. And that's why we talk about stepping into the canopy of a tree is stepping into sacred space, right? We're literally moving into the energetic embrace of these allies. So we can just spend a moment feeling how it feels, the emotions, those subtler perceptions in these experiences are very important. And just taking a couple of breaths and feeling how it feels to be in the protection of this tree. Obviously, I have very loud, busy city stuff around me, but in the embrace of this tree, everything feels calm and feels peaceful and feels well. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is a technique of energy clearing. When you want to kind of reset, recenter, maybe you're feeling a little bit disharmonious, disorganized, dysregulated. I really feel personally when I do this experience, it's almost like running a comb through my energetic system, right? Just kind of combing all the tangles out, getting things open and nice and fluid. And that's very nice. And this, above anything, is really more of a meditation, right? It's really us standing in the torus of this tree, in the sacred space of this tree, being aware of how energy moves in the tree. The tree is gathering and bringing down, gathering and bringing up, circulating in the center, connecting in the center, and meditating on how that same torus energy is happening in our body. And when we do that, we allow the strong oscillating power of the tree and the oscillating power of our own heart center to come into coherence, and the energetic healing takes place. So really all you have to do is stand nice and relaxed. I like to put a little bit of bend in my knees just so that I'm not rigid and locked up. And you could, if you wanted to, take on a pose that maybe feels like the canopy of a tree, or put your hands however. I tend to just sort of try to relax, make sure that my shoulders are away from my ears, make sure there's no tension in my jaw or my neck. And what I do is simply meditate on drawing up energy from the ground below, just as the tree does, again, in alignment and in harmony with the tree doing that next to me within each other's energy field. So I'm supported in this work, in this moment, drawing all of that up and letting it flow freely through me. And then the next phase is gathering from the sky above, gathering it down through my own energetic reach down through the body and flowing through me. And I just kind of do that back and forth. You could time this with inhalations and exhalations. You could time it inhaling and then exhaling out, and then inhaling down and exhaling out. There's no right or wrong way. Do what feels good for you. That obviously tries to keep you in a nice, relaxed state. And that is really the process. Now, a deeper level of this practice is that as you're doing that, you might encounter some spots within you that feel a little stuck, a little knotted up, a little stagnant, maybe really intense and buzzing and kind of excessive. You can sit with those a little longer and just imagine that you are a tree, or imagine the tree-like energy flow in your body, and just allow that to flow through, just to gently soften and unwind and loosen and ease until you feel it release, right? You'll get better with this with time and with practice. Sometimes we need to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes sitting here or standing here doing this, and that's okay, right? And as a side note, you don't have to stand, right? If you are more comfortable sitting at the crown of the tree, do that. If you need to sit, do that, right? There's no reason why standing. This just feels good for me, so that's what I do, but you have to modify to suit your own body and to suit what works for you. So the second one we're now going to do is centering in the self. And this is very similar to the first one, except that I focus entirely on my heart center now, right? I focus entirely on all of the energy from above, imagining the leaves gathering sunlight and moonlight and drawing that down into the heart center, and all of the energy from below represented by the roots gathering earth energy and water energy and gathering that up into the heart center, and focusing exclusively on the heart center. Breathing in as we gather from above and below, and as we exhale, exhaling and allowing that to release into the whole being. Inhaling from above and below into the heart center, releasing into the whole being. Inhaling from above and below, gathering in the heart center, releasing into the whole being. This is so powerful, even in just two or three breaths of me in kind of a performative way, showing you how this works. It totally changes the way my body feels. I feel warmer. I feel more in myself. I feel more grounded in who I am. I feel more connected to the moment and to this tree and to this place. And this is so cool. And a little side note is it's great to practice this with a tree friend because, again, you have these two bodies next to each other, sharing in a natural process, and it strengthens the effect of each one. But you could also just do this kind of anywhere, anytime, right? Imagine that you are a tree. Call forth the tree wisdom within and do this gathering and releasing practice whenever you need it. I found myself doing this even sitting in the car at a traffic light, right? Sometimes just needing to remind myself that I'm connected to the above and the below in the sacred center, the liminal point of my own heart. The third one that we're going to talk about is more sorcerous. It's a little more magical, right? And this is where today I identify something that I need, a lack that I have, an ask that I have, maybe of myself, maybe of the world around me, maybe something I need to accomplish or something I'm working on, and recognizing that either that thing that I need exists in its pure form in nature, or that all of the recipe ingredients, all of the building blocks that make up everything that exists, exist in nature. So this is an opportunity for us to just call forth the tools, the resources, the ingredients that we need to make anything happen. And of course, we want to align this to our will. We want to align it to action, meaning the meditation in and of itself is not enough. We also have to act on it, right? This is the grocery store trip where we go and pick up all of the ingredients that we need. We still need to go home and preheat the oven. So you may know what it is you need, and you may know some of the ingredients you need. Maybe today you need a little bit of extra fire, or a little bit of nourishment, or a little bit of extra wisdom and guidance. And you may not. You may just know where it is you want to go, but you don't know the ingredients that go into it. Either way is totally fine. And in fact, I think it's better to approach this practice with an open mind, like sort of saying, here's where my goal is, here's where the intent is, and I'm open for whatever needs to come in order to make that happen. Here's the cupcake that I want. I'm open to whatever ingredients need to go in to make that cupcake to show up for me. And building off of, and similar to the other two practices that we've done, what you can do is, I like to start with the roots, but you could certainly start with the canopy first, is just draw up power, right? Imagine your own roots sinking deep down into the earth that is rich with all of the nourishment, the nutrients, and the building blocks of life. All of our food that emerges from the land is made up of the soil. It contains literally all of the building blocks that you need to accomplish anything, and it's specifically related to the elements of earth and of water. So we reach our roots down into the mysteries below, and we just open up to gather resources, to draw up wisdom, to draw up information and inspiration, and let it flow into our beings however it comes up, right? And then similarly, I like to do the same thing with the canopy. This is a different kind of energy. Sky energy is less about unformed potential, and it's more about cycles, spirals, and seasons, things being ordered and given form and function, right? So from below, we draw up the ingredients. From the above, we draw the wisdom to do something with those ingredients. I always imagine it as coming down as light, whether that's sunlight, starlight, or moonlight, or a combination of all three. Again, gathering whatever I need in this moment to accomplish this goal, trusting and allowing that to come in. And these two energies, again, the raw building materials of life that come from earth and water below, the form and function wisdom that comes from space, sky, fire above, they meet in the heart center, they mingle, and they give us all of the inspiration and power we need to manifest our goals. So 3 very simple practices. These are the first steps of each of these practices. They all can go very, very deep. The more that you sit with them, the more you play with them, the more the plants will teach you how to go further in, the more your own body wisdom will start to unfold and guide you further in. So I hope you enjoy these. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I put a free class up every single Friday. I'll see you next time.